So this is roughly halfway on my couch to 5k run, which I've been able to restart after a little bit of leg problems. Look around you, says Jesus, and see how the fields are ripe for harvesting. I was sharing last week one of the main headlines from one of our groups which are looking at the way ahead for us as a diocese, our growth group. And they came up with the idea that our D factor, our making of disciples factor, needs to be greater than 1 for each one of us taking responsibility for sharing the good news that we know with those we come into contact with. The fields are ripe for harvesting, says Jesus. I was also led, as I was thinking about these things this week, to another passage where Jesus talks about fields from Luke 12. He told them this story, says Luke. The land of a rich man produced abundantly. And he said to himself, what shall I do? For I have no place to store my crops. Then he said, I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have ample goods laid up for you for many years. Relax, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life is being demanded of you. And these things you have prepared, whose will they be? So it is with those who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich towards God. As a diocese, we're fortunate in having many fields, many treasures left to us from previous generations of Christians here in Lincolnshire. And the interest those fields, those treasures generate are part of how we fund our mission today. However, the reality is we've also been selling some of those fields, some of those treasures. And another one of our groups, our assets group, has pointed out that we can't do that for much longer. That we need to be wise in how we use those treasures that God has given to us. I read a poem this morning by a man called George Herbert, which starts with that wonderful line, love bade me welcome, yet my soul drew back, guilty of dust and sin. Well, love still calls to the people of this great county. And the call for us as his church is to use wisely the treasures that we have been given, so that that love can be made as widely known as it possibly can be to all the people of this great county.